Hi, everybody. How are you all doing? It's a special time to be together right now because I wasn't even sure if we were going to go live today. My wife was like, I'm going out with my friends. You have to watch the kids. Then she ended up going out with her friends earlier. So here we are. We're able to be together. So isn't that nice? We can cover the latest stories. We can cover that ringer piece if you would like to. We can cover what else is going on Twitter. We can cover my journey of being a Twitter influencer and being paid by Elon Musk. We can talk about whatever's going on in the NBA. We can just talk about the chat's choice. This is a check-in with the chat after all, is it not? So let's see what's going on in the chat thus far. We got Springer. Is my hairline receding? Springer, I'm glad that you feel so comfortable to be able to be together, and that's the first question that you ask. It actually makes me feel good. It means that I've created a place where people can feel comfortable to be themselves. But yeah, of course, I would imagine my hairline is receding. Your hairline's probably receding too. You are an organic matter. You are organic matter. You age, you change. Sometimes it gets I get kind of sad. I got to be honest when I see like old people and I'm like, they weren't always old. One day you'll be old too, Springer. All right, that's the show. No, but don't you think it's weird too when like old people have like perfect hairlines and there's veneer, super white teeth, and like, you're not fooling anybody. I never quite understood that approach. Like when I see an old man who's like 78 and he's got like perfect bright white teeth and a full head of hair, and it's like a nice dark brown head of hair. You're not fooling anybody. Let's keep it going. Boston Base is here. Having my back. Thank you, Boston Base. Matic Auto is here. He says, curious on your take on one 2-day-old account pulling 31 jersey or number one in the span of 15 minutes per live token bot. The weed might just make me paranoid. It's some effing good smoke. I'm not going to lie. No, Matic Auto, from everything that I've seen, we haven't had any like major randomizer issues in a very long time. You could go and take a look at like how many packs that person was buying. There's probably ways to nail it down and feel a little bit more assured that nothing weird's going on. Bobby Digital is here. He's here for the timer. Aren't we all? Chubby is here. He can't make it. Well, hello, Chubby. When you get back from your girl phone duties. Girl phone duties. Oh, man. I remember those days, Chubby. Are you long distance, Chubby? Are you You don't live with your girlfriend, I take it? I'm not much of a telephone guy, I'll be honest. I remember before when my wife was my girlfriend and she used to wanna talk on the phone. Not a fan. Just I'm not a fan. Stan, I missed a couple of shows and Tandy already got demoted. Cold World, he was probably quoted in the article. I was not quoted in the article, to be perfectly honest with you. The article was news to me as it was to you all. Maddock is here for the Ringer article. And Perfect Seriousness, Tandy's going to announce a break to focus on a championship today. That's right. Let's see. Mm, Colton is here. He says the safe space. That's right. It's a safe space. You can talk about each other's hairlines. No problem. And limbs. Oh, damn. I thought this was podcast P. Chubby says at least it's a video call. It's not a phone call. Yeah, that is better. I don't want to know why that's better, Chubby, though. Let's not get into details. Anyway, let's start, right? Let's start. Let's talk about the breaking news. And is this a dramatic breaking news? That's right. The sky is falling. So yeah, we had this article here. Oh, can I get in the middle here? I don't know. We had this article that was released by the Ringer, and I gotta admit, like, I don't know if you guys have read it yet, but I thought this would be more of like a body slam on Top Shot. I thought this would be more of like a takedown because I remember when who did it the last one when the whole meme of like Roham's yacht started. That was a takedown by some other website, which now escapes me. I can't remember. Um, but that seemed more of like a salacious takedown. This one, not so much. Like it went over some of the mishaps and just kind of the ups and downs. It focused a lot on what happened in 21 and just what a explosion of interest and how that created the supply squeeze. And there was a little bit of conspiracy there that like the Top Shot management had this all in mind and they wanted to create manufacture the perfect squeeze play. But I can tell you, first of all, I was not there during that time, obviously, but I don't see that as something that they did. Um, when money wasn't being able to be withdrawn and like that was creating this madness in the marketplace, it's possible that maybe, maybe things could have happened a little bit sooner and didn't because there were some nice secondary effects, but that is pure speculation. I have no clue if that's actually true or not. I'm trying to put myself in the same shoes. Like if I had some website that people were buying and selling things on, and all of a sudden I saw just the number spike to the high heavens, and it kept on going up and up and up, and a side effect of people not withdrawing was that values kept on increasing and more people kept wanting FOMO in. I could definitely understand why it would be something like, well, we're going to get it done, but maybe the fact that it's not done today, it's okay. We'll get it done tomorrow. But I don't know. That is pure speculation. Okay. And I can tell you from being on the inside that like there's no one on the inside that I think had this kind of sort of evil planning ahead of time, anything like that. It's really, I don't think the culture is anything like that. Um, Anyway, let's keep it going though. So it starts off, we talk about just the madness of series one, the series one moments in 21 that were worth so much money. And, you throw out some names like Ben Simmons being sold for 20 grand and Goran Dragic for 30 grand. So it starts right off the bat with you just reading this article and being like, what in the hell were people thinking? And I think you could write this same article for any NFT story. I mean, you could talk about obviously like Bored Apes is a popular one, but not even Bored Apes. I mean, there were all types of weird. There were NFTs of like people with boogers hanging out of their nose. Like those things were going for like way more than this. You know, like what was it called? Like the wolf game. And I mean, there are so many examples, right? It's just that I think that the fact that Top Shot ties directly into basketball culture. It is way more widely understood. It has a direct parallel to physical cards. It kind of makes this more of a sensational story, right? Because if you are someone who collects, let's say, physical cards, and you are looking at a Goran Dragic for $30,000, that's a very easy, like, apples to apples comparison where you could say something is wrong. Something is not right here. This feels like a bubble. That's exactly what they mentioned later on in this article, was that Roham, it was quoted as speaking to, like, physical collectors who said, "I don't want to touch that yet. This is a bubble. A Goran Dragic isn't supposed to be getting sold for $30,000." Then it gives Top Shot a lot of credit too at the same time. So, like, this wasn't a pure takedown piece. I guess that's my point. They also give Top Shot credit of basically creating something from nothing, creating this whole NFT craze from nothing, really, being like the big major platform to give legitimacy. Some interesting quotes also that I think still apply, talking to, like, little quote here from Jacob about, like, the future of collecting. And I agree. I mean, there's points here where you read this article and you could sort of read this article in a negative way or a positive way. Like, you could come away from this article either way, honestly. Um, then it talks about this guy Jesse who spent a crap load of money on this LeBron James, like one of the most rare LeBron James moments, and of course that's down a whole lot from what it was at. Then it talks about the Bales article. That, of course, was like the spark plug, what that made Top Shot take off the way it did. It talks about the author, like, not being able to get into the platform, and then I think he finally does, but I think he's still not so sure about it. I think even when he does get in, it talks about the good old days of just the chance of buying a pack and that kind of hopium we all had to get our hands on a pack, and just the intensity, and that really gave back the nostalgia of, like, that's one of the most fun memories I have of the entire Top Shot experience. It's those days of just trying to get your hands on a pack, um and like the conundrum, and it's something that we've talked about for ages, is that it's this combination of the desire to make money, right? Because everyone's attracted to make money. I remember when we had Eric, what's his name again? Eric, the collectibles guru, and he put it straight out. He's like, "Look, everyone wants to make money. Like, you could be selling anything. You could be selling sneakers, you could be selling t-shirts. The fact that you're selling digital NBA collectibles makes it more interesting, I think." And it's like you still want to make money, but there's also the side effect of being something that you enjoy. And I think that's why we all fell in love with Top Shot in that crazy time, right? I was running on pure dopamine. I remember this feeling exactly. I mean, this is a throwback. A lot of the stuff in that I was reading in this article was a complete throwback. I remember exactly how this felt as well. So then it, like, gives a timeline. There's sort of like the slam dunk quote about, "Oh, when I found out Ja Rule was interested or involved, I should have ran for the hills." Um, this is the quote I said earlier. "I spoke to sports collectors. I can't jump in because it's clearly a bubble." It then goes on and talks about, like, how the market cap was dropping. Meanwhile, other NFTs were going up. And it also talks about some of the struggles that, like, the platform had. It talked about some of the mishaps that the platform had. It talked about when they had that NFL deal, and although it didn't seem like 100% clear, it did seem like they painted this picture of the NFL kind of handcuffed them. They kind of Nico Harrison them, and like, reading it, you feel like they kind of got finessed, where the NFL was like, "Yeah, we need this much money guaranteed," and that put Top Shot or Dapper Labs in a really tough position. And so that was like one of the slam dunks, you could say. And then another slam dunk was around the Kevin Durant drop, because obviously that was um this right here, the Kevin Durant drop. Like, that was kind of a disaster because it was a big promotion, and then that pack drop was completely scuffed. And instead of this being something that injected revenue into the economy and into the platform. It ended up being something where Dapper had to pay out the people who had taken part in that pack drop. So like that was definitely a big problem. And then it's showing like the trading volume per month. Obviously, February 21, January 21, those were the peaks. Let's see. Anything else that I thought was interesting here? It talks about like supply, of course, something we talk about a lot. We should probably show the drop. Right? So we talk about supply, we talk about the difficulties across the two platforms. It talks about the challenges of introducing this NFL product, and then it said 80% of the users were from Top Shot. And I remember when that happened as well, and I was definitely not too excited because I thought something like that could be the case. Granted, when NFL did come out, though, they really blitzed the hell out of it, and nice to use the word blitz. They blitzed the hell out of marketing and advertising. I remember they were on ESPN. I don't think it was anything like against the efforts that they had done on behalf of the NFL. I think that the NFT space just was drastically different, and they were in a tough spot because of the money that the NFL was expecting. Um, it talks about the lawsuit. It talks about Phil in Florida. It talks about the Jalen Green debacle at the All-Star game. It talks about, and then it kind of finishes off by talking about some collectors who still have hope. And I gotta admit, though, the last paragraph, that was kind of like slightly pathetic. I thought I thought that if you wanted to choose something to feel sort of optimistic about or hopeful about, I don't know if it's about Dwight Howard, PJ Washington, and Daniel Gafford. That was sort of a interesting choice of players to close out and end it with one user feeling optimistic. To feel optimistic because you're holding a Daniel Gafford is definitely a choice. But yeah, I would just finish off by saying, like, overall, I think that it wasn't as bad as I kind of thought it would be, because I thought that, the Ringer has put out some really impressive work in the past and really impressive like takedowns of organizations and of people. And, they've done some incredible work, podcasting, done a lot of amazing journalism. They actually did a podcast on one of my favorite stories, which was HQ Trivia, a great show about HQ Trivia and how that show sort of ended up in flames. And right, like the kind of the hubris of the ownership of HQ Trivia, they destroyed their product. And so I thought that was going to be the same kind of angle that they were going to take against Top Shot. So when I saw this and I read it, I thought, all right, there's definitely some valid criticisms here and some valid sort of analysis here of things that went wrong, but it didn't feel like that kind of a takedown. And the most amusing part actually was that after this article came out, right? I was wondering out loud, and I mentioned it to a couple people. I wonder if we're going to see if there's no such thing as bad press holds true or not. And lo and behold, it did. Like the Top Shot Marketplace did $200,000 of transactional volume on the day of that article. And it might have been due to the recent pack drop, or it might have been due to the fact that there was perhaps some new attention again. And maybe some people went in and started buying stuff again. So anyways, Top Shot is a very interesting tangled web, and they continue to improve plenty of things on the platform. There's also continually things that people that have been here for a long time continue to wish for, improvements that have nothing to do with the stuff that's being improved. So as a collectible product, you're seeing things like yesterday, Roham shared some updates that's happening on the collection curation side. I mean, that's something that people have been asking for years, including your most valuable users, right? The VIPs. I recall seeing screenshots and stuff that were shared, I think on Twitter, but people wanted curation. They're begging for curation. Like, please just let me organize my collection. Let me show off my collection better than I can right now. And we're seeing that there is some stuff that's happening. And some of this stuff is happening this series. It seems like faster than we're used to in previous series. We're seeing things happen a bit faster, which I think is good. And, we see the shoebox thing that just got released. I haven't actually played around with it yet. Roham shared something yesterday about your featured moments and having like a featured colorful board. And he asked people to share like what color you would want your colorful board to be. We saw these commemorative pins that you could earn if you joined the pack drops just now. We saw that mysterious key that was like a couple weeks ago that we haven't heard anything else about yet. So like things are happening. And I just think that it's like this ever present issue, especially with the people that have been here for the long term, where they just want to see like a drastic reduction in supply via burning. I mean, we see some of the loudest voices talk about that on the timeline. Trying to kind of save some of the oversupply from past series like series 2 and 3 and 4. And it's just this ever-present thing because as the great LG Doucette said on his podcast probably 2 years ago or 3 years ago, if your product is a sports NFT product, you're going to have to keep on creating sports NFTs of the best players in the league. So that's not going to stop. As long as Top Shot is a successful product, that's going to continue. And there's plenty of collectors on this product who don't care very much about supply and continue to enjoy it as pure collectors. And I feel like a lot of the speculators, honestly, have been thinned out. We are on, what are we on? Like year 6? Is that what this is? Year 6 of Top Shot? I'm not even sure. I think it's year 6. So you got to imagine that the people that were here to flip, that's been weaned down significantly. And the only people that are here flipping nowadays are the ones flipping like little dollar moments at a time. Your Matt Roths of the world. Also, there's also still pack flipping because there is still a cohort of pack rippers who just absolutely love ripping packs and cannot get enough of it. And, good for them. I hope that they have a nice fat stack of disposable income and they just love ripping packs. And that's just what it is. And like, that's okay. If that's what you love doing, then go for it. I mean, Top Shot has created a really nice, enjoyable experience when it comes to ripping NFT packs and trying to hit big. Like, they've done a really good job of that. And they continue to improve upon that. So if that's something that you enjoy doing, that certainly exists for you. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to like wrap this up in a bow. I just I guess in this case, like there's no such thing as bad press. I thought this thing was going to be a lot worse, to be honest. So that's my take on this Top Shot article. Now let me try to catch up on the chat and just see what you guys were saying. Here we go. M. Wesley, that seems like a new name. Hello, welcome to the show. I am just as likely to win the NBA championship as Paul George. I would agree with this comment. That was such a funny. Where does that even come from? Like, the Sixers are what, 20 games out behind first? Are they 20 games behind first place, or like where are they in the playoff picture even? Let me go take a quick look because I don't even know. So the Sixers, they are in the 12th spot right now. Their record is 20-38. They are 28 games back of the Cavaliers, right? They are right above the Raptors, the Hornets, and the Wizards. I mean, the Sixers, they suck. And Joel Embiid is struggling and he's injured. He's playing injured. There was some headline that I saw that I kind of skimmed, something about how his knee, they're like injecting, you know, baby stem cells in there every day just to get him on the court. Like, he's in trouble, man. He is a big man with really bad knee issues. I even read something about how they were going to break his hip on purpose to take the pressure off his knee. Yeah. Joel Embiid's days are numbered in the NBA unless, just a miracle happens. So the Sixers, without a healthy Joel Embiid, they're not going to do anything. And why is Paul George focusing on the playoffs now? Wouldn't the time have been to focus on the playoffs and focus on conditioning and focus on your teammates? Wouldn't that have been before your team sagged its way down to 12th place? That's what I don't understand. And that's what makes Paul George just look so bad right now. Especially for someone who understands how he looks and understands enough about narratives to have a podcast to then say something so stupid. What? Paul George, man, get it together. What are you doing? Are you trying to increase your perceived value so the Sixers can dump you? I don't get Paul George, gotta admit. So Stan Loves can't withdraw right now. I saw that on the timeline. Stan, I told you on Twitter, I'll tell you again, just keep on bugging support. There must be some weird technicality. I don't know. Stan says they're not going to rehire you. Stan, for your information, I still have a working relationship with Dapper. So wrong again, my friend. Let's see what else. There are definitely improvements that deserve a lot of credit. Yeah, I don't think that's simping either, Perfect Cereal. I don't think it is. I think you're an idiot if you think that nothing is going on there. You can literally see it in front of your face. Even if you just play Fast Break and you can see all the little, quality of life improvements, as they say. There's a lot of quality of life improvements. Now, I don't know what Stan is looking for exactly, but probably nothing like that. And that's fair. There's going to be people on this platform that are looking for certain things and others that are looking for something else. There's a valid complaint that I saw from, what's his name again? The seeds guy, the gardener, Dharma Gardner. He was irritated because he stacked a bunch of players, their rares, thinking that he was going to be able to trade in for the new rares. And they pivoted away from that. They pivoted away from trading in the old rares for the new rares, and now it's the Top Shot score for the new stuff. And I think that's actually better for the marketplace, but obviously it's not better for the person that was stacking those rares, playing the game the way they thought it was supposed to be played, right? So there's always going to be some people who are not super happy with how things are working out and it hurts their bags. And then there's going to be others where decisions actually benefit them. So it's a little tricky. Let's see. John says, I flipped a LeBron Kobe tribute for a $4,000 profit this week. Just FYI, I'm a few minutes behind the stream. Well, congratulations to you, John, and welcome to the stream. I haven't seen your name around these parts that often, but welcome and thank you for being here. Maddox said, my $200 Rising Stars pack sold for $98, and someone is the proud new owner of a $12 Garland. Yeah, see, this is when I feel a little bit sad for people who maybe don't know how to use Own the Moment, or not even that, but just don't do their due diligence. So, when you buy a pack on the secondary marketplace, you can click the pack drop details and click through the moments and see what your biggest hits can be. So for a Rising Stars pack, I would want to know who's the hit. Hopefully there's some very nice hits in there that are above $98, but it kind of hurts me when I see some people purchase packs that even if they hit the best moment, they can't get back the $98. Those are the head scratchers, and that's the stuff that I think is unfortunate. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Springer says the product is definitely better now than even 6 months ago. Amen, Springer. Let's simp. Can we simp together for a second? Let's simp.
Let's sim.
Let's simp.
Let's sim.
Let's simp. Let's simp. Let's simp.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do you guys want to talk about? Is there anything else on Top Shot we can talk about? Well, there's this social media post that you guys should go engage with, actually. This is on this is Instagram, but this is the Matas Buzelis Instagram post that I actually helped edit. So Davey is a very talented videographer, and he put together his first edit, and then I helped him sort of clean it up, and this was the result. And I think it's really nice, and I think it shows a really cool example of what happens when you win one of these events. And this event was won by Coach Finstock is his username, and he took his son, and they won this opportunity to go to go to Golden State, go to San Francisco, and meet Matas on the floor. And apparently that was Matas's idea, which is really cool. Like Top Shot, if you don't know about this, and it's kind of a shame because obviously only a relatively small percentage of people can know this stuff. You're right. It's kind of a relatively small percentage of people that get to engage with these players. And in this case, actually get to be on the floor at the slam dunk contest and like get a signed jersey from Matas. Super cool experience. And I don't know. I didn't do the math of like how many Matas moments Coach Finstock had to, I think it was lock. But, whatever it was, if it's a few $100, let's say, that's still like a once in a lifetime memory that you were able to get because of Top Shot. Like you can't buy that memory. And that is what I think makes Top Shot so unique, and which I've always wanted Top Shot to lean in as much as possible. Now, obviously, you're not going to have something like that to lean into every single week, but like even the player hangouts are super cool and fun and engaging and entertaining. Some people think they are bullshit. Some people think, why not just listen to a podcast with that player on it? I can guarantee you it is 10 times cooler than listening to Podcast P or any other player. Like Gary Payton, like listening to him on a podcast, not even close to his goal. Even if the content isn't as funny as it might be if he's with like a really talented interviewer, let's say, it's still way cooler because you're with him in the room and he's talking directly to you, and it's amazing. And I wish that more people could experience that. Anyway, what else should we talk about? So that's the Matas Buzelis video that we were waiting to publish, and that's now published. Anything else Top Shot wise? Let me see. Let's bring up Top Shot and see if there's anything else we want to talk about here. So here's the website. Boston Base wants to talk about Shrek, and he gave us a nice little sticker. So let's give him that lady.
Thank you for being an only tan. Ice cream is so good.
And let's give him a little air horn too. Thank you to Boston Base. Yeah, we'll talk Shrek in a second. And for the meantime, let's just quickly go over if there's anything. Although my browser is so screwed up with Top Shot, though. But yeah, you still have these hollow icon packs available. Those are $9. These two sold out. I think they sold out relatively quickly. The hollow icon and the metallic gold. for $670 respectively. Then you got this whole bunch of challenges. Of course, you got the Kia Telluride. And I'm not doing too well in the fast break run, to be honest. You got our activity feed too, which we love, don't we, folks? And if we go to the marketplace and take a look at the packs, we can actually just take a quick look at how those are doing on the resale side of things. Let's see if we can find them. Wow, so look at that. The hollow icon is doing quite well, as is the metallic gold. So that is good to see. I gotta say, that's good to see that the packs are doing well. You know, they're priced okay for a flipper, or priced pretty great for a flipper actually, and priced okay if you want to hold and rip as well. It seems like, so that is good to see. And I'm not even sure actually, like if we take a look at what these legendaries are doing in the marketplace. So there you go. We got our Tatum. The Luka's at $850. LeBron is right under $800. So those were the Jokic is at $800. So that's good to see. That's good to see that there were several moments, at least 3. And the SGA is at 2,400. What's going on here? The SGA is at 2,400. Why is the SGA at 2,400? I mean, I guess people were buying it at 1,000, which I believe would be the highest priced moment in the pack. If you go to the Luka, what was he selling for? Yeah. So Lakers came in and sniped the number 1 Luka for just over $4,000. So good stuff. And here's the buyback, by the way. This was the moment that they gave away on Twitter. So look at that. That's a generous Twitter giveaway right there. $850 to, I recall it was OK Bears was the guy that won it. So congratulations to you, Mr. OK Bears. All right, so what else? Boston Base wants to talk Shrek. So let's go look at Shrek. He did give the sticker. Let's take a look at Shrek. Let's share this tab instead. So let's look at Shrek together, everybody. So here's the Shrek trailer. Now, right off the bat, people are not happy with the Shrek trailer because they are saying that he looks too different. So let's take a look together.
Hey, Magic Mirror, who's the fairest of them all? Why, Shrek, of course.
Ew, Dad.
But here's what's interesting, actually, because this is the previous looking Shrek. Like, that's what people want Shrek to look like. This sort of wide-faced, wide-nosed Shrek. But then he looks completely different there. So I also have to ask why this happened. Because if you look at the icon, the PFP of Shrek right there as well, it's also the classic Shrek look. So why have they changed him so drastically? They've made him look like an old bald man. I don't really understand this thought process.
Ew, Dad.
Ooh, mommy like.
Who's making this stuff?
Not me! Whoa!
So I guess this is to mean that this guy was the one making those TikToks.
Oh! Shrek 5, starring Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, and Zendaya? Oh, damn. Only in theaters. Christmas 2026.
I don't know. Is Zendaya a big name drop? I wasn't even aware of that. I wasn't even aware that Zendaya was a big name drop, but apparently it is. But anyway, yeah, I have to agree with the people that are unhappy with the way Shrek looks. He shouldn't look like that because the wife still looks the way that she looked. The donkey still looks the way that he looked. I think that this is the baby that's now grown up. I don't know. I'm sorry to tell you that I've only seen like little pieces of Shrek. But this is the way he should look. He should get the Trump NFT treatment. He should look like this. So anyway, I know that Boston Base is very excited for Shrek, and I'm excited for you, Boston Base. So Maddox said, end of 26, everything on GTA 6 time now. I know. When is GTA 6 coming out? I was all excited about GTA 6. I mean, that, like, I wish I was younger. I wish I was a younger man without familial and, you know, financial responsibilities, because I would love to buy a PS5 or 6 or whatever it is now and GTA and just, oh man, lock myself in there and just play GTA for a few months. That was what we used to do. We used to come home from school and we would just play GTA, and it was the best. Um what else do you guys want to talk about? Should we talk about my pursuit of becoming paid by Elon Musk? So let's talk about that. So as you can see, I have a lot of um, activity right now on Twitter, and this one is actually doing quite well right now. This Jason Whitlock picture that I grokked is doing quite well. This was in response to a story about Joy Taylor being sidelined. And yeah, this picture is just poetry. So Joy Taylor is looking straight at the camera, looking very beautiful, and Jason Whitlock, who filmed a very creepy commentary video about Joy Taylor talking about her peanut butter skin. I thought it would be funny to have a picture of Jason Whitlock holding a jar of peanut butter, looking directly at the camera. Now that's the important part. That's the little artistic flair that many of you probably would not have thought of. And only after the fact did I realize why it works so well. Because Joy Taylor is staring directly at the camera, and then Jason Whitlock is staring directly back at her holding a jar of peanut butter, and that's why it's so funny. And the engagement I get on this stuff is crazy. Like, compared to, the stuff that I actually care about, where I'll get, like, if I get, a couple thousand impressions on stuff that I actually care about, it'll feel like a wonderful day. And now look at this, 66,000 views on this picture of Jason Whitlock. Not only that, but a whole bunch of people are tagging their friends and quote tweeting it, which is the first time that has ever happened, I think. Actually, no, I take that back. That's not true. I had another one that actually did crazy numbers, which was this one. This is my biggest one so far. 461,000 views. 461,000. We're almost at 500,000 views. Because this video of a Japanese man shouting at Australian tourists at a ski resort did numbers. And I think for those of you who are trying to get monetized on X, and it's not a very glamorous thing to be doing, but after I got this 461,000, I was like, all right, that's it. I have to do this now. I have to go for it. Because the way that it works is when you are premium, right? So I can show you when you're premium, if you go to monetization and you go to creator revenue sharing, you have to subscribe to premium. That's the easy part. You have to have 500 premium followers, which actually is kind of difficult. And then this is the hardest one. You have to have 5 million impressions on your post within the last 3 months, which is really hard. And I don't even know if it's going to be worth it, to be honest. This might be an exercise in futility. By the way, we have a Top Shot update. We'll cover that now. But yeah, so let's see if it's an exercise in futility or if I can make a little bit of money from shit posting. I know, right? Right, Jeb? I've been tweeting for free all this time. Now I'm trying to get paid. Yeah, so if any of you in the chat, by the way, have figured this out, please let us know in the chat how you've done it, because as of right now, I'm struggling and I'm just trying to get beyond that 5 million point. Jeb, are you past 5 million? Let us know. All right, so see, Zakarian's right there to crush my dreams. The money is bad. So even if the money is bad, even if the money is like $5, at this point I'm too close, and now it's just like a challenge. And now I just have to do it, because now I'm at like 1.5 million impressions within the last couple of weeks, I think. And so now it's like I have to do it now. So now it's trash. And so pretty much I'm probably doing this and I'm going to be let down, but now, I have to do it anyway, unfortunately. That's just the way I am. Stubborn. I'm a stubborn mule. Stubborn. All right. Well, we do have a little update today. As we were talking about today, Top Shot does ship things out relatively quickly lately. And here it is. Let's see if it's as big as they say. 2 big updates to notifications. There's an outbid update. You get alerted when someone outbids your offer. All right. I think that's good. When like Greatest Pirate Hunter. I mean, weren't they already telling you though, just in the form of an email? So I suppose that maybe it's better because hopefully that's like in the app or something. They don't say if this is app or not. Is this app? I can't tell. I don't know if that's app or not. But anyway, that's the one. That's one piece. And the other piece is when your offer is accepted, you will instantly know when your offer is accepted. So I suppose this is just an upgrade compared to the email notifications, which we were already getting. So sure, not a huge deal, but nice to continually be building on something. All right. Jay says, you worked for Top Shot. Nothing will ever be worse than that. I disagree, Jay. It wasn't bad working for Top Shot. In fact, I still am building. I'm still not building. Geez, what a Web3 thing to say. I'm still doing work with Top Shot. I have not stopped working with Top Shot. And I enjoyed working with Top Shot, to be honest, because I think that trying to figure things out, especially when you are interested in them, is fun. It's entertaining, and I enjoyed it. So Karen says, Tandy, do you think they saved the Matas video until after the Ringer article came out on purpose? Not only do I not think that's the case, Mike, I know that's not the case because I had a hand in the Matas video. So I don't know if someone else, maybe was delaying their replies or if it was just serendipitous that that's the way it worked. I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and say the Matas video was like, oh my God, that just wipes out everything that was said in the Ringer video. I mean, the Ringer article, I would say it doesn't. I'd say that, if you took that Ringer article to be, pretty damning, I don't think the Matas video is going to all of a sudden convince you otherwise. So yeah, I know that this was not something that was communicated, at least not to me, that like, hey, we got to wait to publish that Matas video. The reason why the Matas video gets out when it does is because there's like layers of approval that have to happen. So the Matas video was ready, I think, early this week. It was pretty much ready to go. We were just waiting on some approval. So Metz thinks Rohem yelled at me and made me cry. I did not cry. I did not cry once, actually, Metz. Maddox says, that's definitely one thing community been after, more notifications. I think is there some sarcasm there, Maddox? Mike says it was just very slow turnaround. I mean, look, it wasn't, I would argue it wasn't that slow. It just takes a few days. Like if you've ever edited video before and I'm sure you are aware of this, Mike, especially when there's different people that have to okay and approve it. If you need like even 3 different layers of approval, that might take 3 different days to get approved, or usually longer. So that's how this goes down. Let's see that. Mike says, nah, nothing new in the Ringer article, just an outside person saying what we all have talked about. Right. That's how I felt about it too. I thought that the Ringer, and Mike, I guess you might be a little late here, but I thought that based on the work that the Ringer has done in the past, like some of the kind of almost expert takedowns they've done on other startups, on other sports related stories, on things like that, I was kind of expecting something with more smoke. I thought they were going to really go hard, and they didn't really go that hard. Not only that, but the author even said like, is Top Shot back? And he like tweeted, he tweeted something about how the transactions were higher than they had been in a while. you know, I just took that layup and quote tweeted him as well. It's like, yeah, it didn't feel like a very targeted takedown whatsoever. No, I did not get yelled at, Boston Base, and I did not cry. Bottom line is late. Stan Loves wants a fist bump. Stan, you want the original or you want the Weisberg? Jay asked, "What's Jacob's favorite ice cream?" I don't know. I wish I could have been there for an ice cream party. That would have been great. Stan says original. Screw iceberg. Okay. Let's get the handshake.
So I appreciate it. Yeah, man, that was an awkward fist bump. Don't clip that. Don't clip that. Just gonna clip that. It's gonna go viral. Jesus Christ. No, I appreciate it. It was weird.
Zakarian saying light fraud and harassment. Outside of that, not too bad. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you could sort of bend the definitions of both of those if you'd like. Let's see here. Metz is asking about Luke's dogs. I have no clue about Luke's dogs, Metz. Oh, Telluride. That's a good point. Can we talk Telluride? Says Boston Base. Let's talk Telluride. Telluride. I am definitely not getting my hands on a Telluride. That's how much I know. Because I am not doing well at all. I am not doing well at all this run. I am doing very poorly. Look at that. That's 4 straight losses. Although one of them was by 1 point. No confetti for me. Yesterday, what is that? Shangun with 1 field goal made. Did he get injured? I don't even know. Look at this workhorse, Maxi. 12 field goals, 32 attempted. The day before, 9 assists short. I don't know who's. Look at that, Garland. He probably. I guess he didn't even play. You know, that's the problem when you go to sleep and then the games begin. Here again, short 5 threes. Hero with no 3-pointers made. Maxi and Edwards with 1 3 each. I mean, these are just awful. And this was the night that I lost by 1 point. This was the beginning of the end. This felt like a really clever lineup. By the way, am I sharing my screen? Yeah. This felt like a really clever lineup. You know, Franz. I don't think that many people were choosing Franz that night. Kyrie. Some people maybe were not choosing Kyrie, but oh man, 1 point short. I think it was an SGA missed free throw at the end of the game and just took my joy away. Well, let's look at how many people were putting in lineups. That's kind of interesting too. So if we start 62.93, 61, under 60, 59, 56, 56, 56, 56. So it looks like 50, now 55. So it looks like, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? It's people start in the beginning. Everyone thinks they're going to win that car. Then they start realizing they're not going to. Stop. So today is rebounds. Looks like I'm playing Gobert, who is not playing tonight. So let's take him out. Who do I want in there? I don't know. Let's throw in Richards. How's that? That's my lineup. If we go look at, I mean, Boston Wings wants to hear about the Telluride. So if we go look at the leaders, who is on their way to hitting that Telluride? That would be this guy right here. Wood 0299. And if we go look at him, he's been here since March 21. He has 328 moments. So there you go. This is someone who's been here for a while. So that's good to see. It's good to see when it's not some random new user. And that's it. Like, do we recognize anyone else? Are there any OnlyTans in like the top 20? I don't think so. I don't recognize any of these people. Top Shot Tino. That's almost Top Shot Tony. Yeah, I don't recognize anybody right now. The Admiral Club. I know that name. Anybody else? Top 50? I only recognize one person. Is that Wilder? I don't know, but Runcorn Waves, I recognize him. So there's Torque. Torque number 55. Cyforce, recognize him. He's 54. So average position, a little over 1,000. Wood, though, this must be a perfect score. So we'll see what happens. If he doesn't get his next win, then this guy will probably be, or one of these two will be in first place if they keep winning. So it'll be interesting to see who wins this car. Yeah. Let's see what else. Matic is asking, does the Kia have butt warmers? Zakarian says that is what it said. Well, it did sort of allude to the fact. I mean, maybe got to go read it again. I don't know if it's saying outright that it believed that there was fraud done, but it was sort of questioning the way, for example, the buyback account works, right? It was questioning the fact that the buyback account can buy moments at what might be perceived at slightly elevated prices. And I think it's partly because of the way that they buy multiple moments at a time and they don't go in like throwing in offers or anything like that. So they will pay the sticker price when anyone in this chat would go and kind of haggle their way down using offers, whereas the buyback account does not. So then the buyback account then uses the last purchased price as the price that they purchased. And so I can understand why some people might see that and not like the way that looks. But that's one of those things where, you can come up with your opinion that, this is done on purpose. This is done because they're trying to form a certain narrative. Like, is it that, or is it the fact that that's just the easier way to get things done? And that's like the most logical answer. I forget which theory it is, but I lean that way, where it's like, that's just the easiest way to get it done. Now, maybe they should be advertising in a different way instead of saying like, it's a $1,500 moment when in fact everyone else was buying it for like $1,000. I think you could definitely make an argument there. It's a tough run. It's going to be lit. Is Skeets going to win the Kia? I think he said he was going to win because he finished like first place the other day. But that was just one night. Let's see. What else? They're finally minting the All-Star Weekend moments. Nurk might not play, says Stan. Okay. Are you calling us low ballers? Only in the summer, Baudouin. Maddox says, will the buyback account buy back all my moments without me spending 2 days clicking on the site? Well, Maddox, if you have desirable moments, put them near the floor and they might get purchased. When sell all button. I think you could kind of do that on Floaty. You can pretty much do that on Floaty. You can go and just list like 50 moments at a time and undercut the floor as much as you want. We are at an hour, everybody. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Thank you for being here with me today. And every week that we can get together is a special week. Thank you for spending the time. And enjoy NBA basketball. Enjoy the return of NBA Centel to Twitter. Enjoy Luka Doncic on the Lakers. I don't enjoy that. I think it looks strange. And I'll never enjoy that. I'll never enjoy seeing Luka Doncic on the Lakers. And with that, I say, take care, everybody. Take care of each other. Look out for each other. Stay warm. And we'll talk again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Static Selector.